The infinite dial. The brushed steel of the watch casing caught the dim light of the studio, but the focus was entirely on the sapphire glass face. Beneath the surface, there were no glowing numbers, no heart rate graphs, and no weather icons. Instead, three concentric rings of ancient Elder Futhark runes were in constant silent motion. The outermost ring, etched in a deep crimson light, spun clockwise to mark the passing of seconds. The middle ring, glowing with a steady amber hue, tracked the minutes. In the center, a single pulsating rune stayed fixed, representing the current essence of the hour. This was not just a timepiece, it was a bridge between the precision of modern microengineering and the cyclical nature of ancient belief. The device, known among high-end tech circles as the Vulkna chronometer, represented a radical shift in wearable technology. While other companies competed for faster processors and brighter screens, the creators of this watch looked backward. They realized that time, in its truest sense, was not merely a sequence of linear moments, but a tapestry of recurring patterns. By using the Futhark alphabet, a system where each character carries a specific weight of meaning, the watch transformed the act of checking the time into an act of reflection. A macro lens moving closer to the dial would reveal the staggering complexity of the animation. Each rune did not just slide, it vibrated with its own frequency. When the Fehu rune, symbolizing wealth and beginning, aligned with the Dagaz rune of transformation at high noon, the entire watch face would emit a subtle golden chime that resonated through the wearer's wristbone. This was haptic feedback evolved into something spiritual. The sensors on the underside of the watch, pressed against a radial artery, didn't just count heartbeats, they translated biological stress into the movement of the rings. As the day progressed, the watch face responded to the wearer's environment. In moments of high tension, the Isa rune, the symbol of ice and stillness, would begin to glow brighter, slowing down its rotation to encourage a slower breath, a calmer pulse. It was an intuitive interface that didn't require a single swipe or tap. The watch knew that time felt different when one was in love, in fear, or in deep thought, and it adjusted its runic display to match that subjective reality. The technology had moved past being a tool and had become a companion. The construction of the Vulknut was a feat of impossible miniaturization. Within the slim 40mm chassis sat a hybrid processor that utilized both traditional silicon and a core of synthetic quartz. This quartz core was programmed to vibrate in harmony with the ancient solar calendar. Engineers who worked on the project whispered that the watch didn't actually need a battery in the traditional sense. It drew kinetic energy from the wearer's movement and intent, converting the physics of a gesture into the logic of a symbol. It was the first bio-resonant device to hit the luxury market. In a crowded city, the watch acted as a silent beacon. When two wearers of the runic chronometer passed each other on the street, the outer rings of their watches would momentarily synchronize, flashing a shared symbol of Gebo, the gift of connection. This created a secret, silent network of individuals who were no longer bound by the frantic, linear ticking of the industrial world. They were living in runic time, a state of being where every moment was loaded with a specific archetypal power. The most mysterious feature of the device was the midnight alignment. Once every 24 hours, the three rings would stop their independent motion and align perfectly to form a single, complex sigil. For 60 seconds, the watch would display a prophecy in light, a combination of three runes that suggested the theme of the wearer's coming day. Some called it a gimmick, but those who wore the watch for more than a month swore by its accuracy. They claimed the watch wasn't predicting the future, but rather helping the wearer tune themselves to the frequency of the coming hours. As the camera pulled back from the close-up, the silhouette of the wearer became visible, a modern professional in a sleek suit, yet with an air of ancient calm. The glowing circle on their wrist was the only source of light in the frame. It looked less like a piece of consumer electronics and more like a fragment of a fallen star, tamed and strapped to a human arm. The leather strap, tanned with traditional methods but reinforced with carbon fiber, anchored the celestial display to the physical body. The article concluded that the success of the runic watch was a sign of a deeper human hunger. In an age of infinite data and overwhelming noise, people were searching for something that felt heavy, something with roots. The watch provided that weight.
It took the most fleeting thing we have, time, and gave it the gravity of stone carvings. It was a heritage on the wrist, a reminder that even as we fly towards a future of AI and space travel, we carry the code of our ancestors in every second that passes. The final frame of the vision showed the watch face fading to a deep obsidian black as the wearer fell asleep. But even in the dark, a single rune, Perthro, the rune of mystery and the unknown, remained glowing faintly. The watch was still working even in the world of dreams, processing the unseen currents of the night, waiting for the first light of Dagas to start the cycle anew.